Hello, and welcome back to the NFL update. Today we are talking about NFL Week 8. And like usual, I'm going to get started with talking about the Denver Broncos. This week, not much of a thriller like last week for the Giants, but they're able to keep that momentum and destroy the Dallas Cowboys 44-24. I don't think it's as much of the offense being good as the Cowboys defense being absolute Swiss cheese. I mean, probably the worst in the NFL. Now that was bad. But I am surprised how well the Broncos defense played. I know they're incredible, but so is the Cowboys offense. But them being able to keep them under wraps is a huge momentum boost for going into future weeks. So I think the defense is rolling and they are confident in themselves right now after giving up 32 last week to the Giants. So I mean that's really good for us. And then the next topic I'm going to talk about is the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I want to bring more stats in because I didn't really do stats last week. I just kind of gave opinions, but this week James Cook, he's on my fantasy team too. Not to brag, but he had 216 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. That is an insane performance. The Bills needed it. They've been playing a little rough recently. They haven't gotten things going on offense like they have in years past. So I think it's a really good that they got James Cook going because, as you know, everything starts with the run game. You got to win in the trenches on offense and defense. And when you win on the trenches on offense, you will have success that day. You will, because then you can air it out. I mean, obviously you got Josh Allen, best dual threat in the game. Maybe one of the best dual threats we've ever seen behind Lamar. But there's so many good things that can happen when you run the ball like James Cook did this last week. And then I also thought this was kind of interesting in the NFL. There's there was a lot of buys this week. 8 of the 24 teams had backup quarterbacks playing, which I thought that was interesting because, I mean, there's been injury problems in the NFL just keep getting worse and worse, but there being so many injuries in the NFL already, especially at the quarterback position. I mean, that's the heart and soul of the team. I mean, it's rough. But in retrospect too, those teams went 1-5 versus starting quarterbacks. I mean, when you have a backup quarterback and you expect to play a game, you want to win games. Still, you need to focus on the position more now than ever. But yeah, 1-5 of those teams, I guess a few of those teams played other backups, but that 1-5 is not a good slate. It just shows how important it is to keep your players healthy and your starting quarterbacks healthy. There's so many things that can go wrong in so many different ways. I mean, that it's probably not even those teams' fault. It's just freak injuries they happen. Then I want to talk about Lamar Jackson. He's been ruled out again, but I'm pretty sure most of the week they said that he was going to play. I don't know. I don't think he was supposed to, but Lamar being out again is a huge loss for those Ravens. I mean, they got a lot of things they have to clean up. I mean, I think Tyler Huntley out there. I mean, he's been there for a while. He's one of those guys, but Lamar, he's kind of like Jayden Daniels Lamar doesn't have an injury problem, though. He knows how to play. The injury's not his fault. I mean, it happens, but I think if the Ravens look terrible without him, I think it's so interesting when these teams have these superstar quarterbacks, like how different the offense and defense change because of your starter play. It's interesting. It's very interesting. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers become the first 2025 NFL team with 2 teammates winning Player of the Week honors. And that would be Chase McLaughlin, their kicker, and Anthony Nelson, defensive player. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. 2 players winning the award is not easy. I know the Broncos have had players win it in back-to-back weeks, but not 2 in a week. That just means when you're doing that, you're doing something right as an organization. You are making the right moves. Your coaching is good all around. You're winning at all 3 levels of the game. It's an incredible feeling when you're at that. The Buccaneers look incredible. Baker Mayfield looks like an MVP. It's really cool. It is really cool to see. Yeah, it's cool to see the Buccaneers good. I don't mind the Buccaneers. Actually, off topic, I hated Tom Brady on the Patriots, but when he went to the Buccaneers, I like Tom Brady. I don't know how to explain it. Then next would be Bryce Young was sidelined with a high ankle sprain. He'll be back next week because high ankle sprains, you can normally play the remainder of that game, but they were getting their butts handed to them by Buffalo. Andy Dalton came in. See, I mean, look, that was another quarterback that got hurt. That wasn't even a part of the 8 of 24 teams that started backups. That's now 9 teams had backups playing, but Andy Dalton looked terrible. People want him gone. I mean, he's a backup quarterback, but Andy Dalton looked bad. He's getting older. He probably about needs to hang it up. Yeah, no, that just wasn't great. But the Panthers are starting to play good competitive football again, which is cool. I'm glad to see. I like to see Bryce Young succeed just because how rough his start was in the NFL. I mean, it's not his fault, but that was a rough start. I'm happy to see that the team is starting to help him around him. They've got a run game going. Rick O'Dowd's look great. So, I mean, they've got things to look forward to with that team. Next would be Kirk Cousins gets to play football again for the Falcons. Didn't go great. Yeah. There's not really much to say about that. Michael Penix being out. With Michael Penix, I don't know what to think. I don't know if he's good or not. I can't really tell. With these guys, it's way too early to tell. Now that we've seen with, like, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, I guess Geno Smith at one point. Like, these guys, they just need to be put in the right environment to be able to succeed. It's not their fault they are terrible. It's typically because the organization drafts a quarterback too early before they're able to protect him, get him some targets. So I mean, you can't judge a quarterback early. Like JJ McCarthy, I have no clue if he's gonna be good or not because he hasn't played. Caleb Williams hasn't had a great start to his career, but he shows flashes. He's definitely improving. So I mean, you can't judge these guys too early. You can't, after one bad game, you can't be like, hey, I was right, you were wrong, this guy's a bust. It's just kind of like that. You can 3 years down the line, you can easily. And then the Saints are terrible. We know they lost 23-3, but the Chase Young, who was an extremely high draft pick out of Ohio State a little while ago, he showed some flashes. He had 2 sacks and a forced fumble. I mean, it shows bright spots. I bring that up because I always liked Chase Young. I never understood why he was so terrible because he was so dominant in college, but it's good to see him show flashes. Maybe he'll be able to become a better pass rusher. Yeah, I think that'd be very big for the Saints because their offense, I mean, they got destroyed. They suck, but maybe if they could get a little something brewing, maybe they'll be good down the line. I don't know. And then I can't not talk about Jonathan Taylor. What he's doing right now on his historic pace is absolutely incredible. He's become the first player ever with 3 rushing touchdowns in 3 straight games against an opponent, which is the Titans. But he's been getting 3 touchdowns over and over and over again all year. And just, I mean, he'd be the MVP right now, but running backs and wide receivers just don't win MVP. It's a quarterback award. But right now, he'd probably be my pick. He's played incredible ball, running the ball. Yeah, I don't understand how the Colts are so good. But if I can figure out a reason, it's because the offensive line and the run game with Jonathan Taylor. There's no other way to put it. And then next up, the Packers. I hate the Packers as much as anybody. I'm a Bronco fan, but I grew up in Central Illinois, so I hate the Packers still. Everyone around me is a Bear fan. But they have a good game. Jordan Love completes 20 straight passes, which is incredible. Throwing for 363 touchdowns and a win over the Steelers. I mean, that's not a pushover of a team. The Steelers defense, they got a good defense year in, year out, but be able to complete 20 straight against that team with that level of pass rush and that secondary and that linebacker core is incredible. So I mean, that's really good for them. And then this is also kind of interesting. This week in the NFL, 11 of the 12 games were decided by double digits. That's the most lopsided week since 1990. I don't know how that happens. Why so many teams got blown out. I don't know. I'll have to look deeper in to see if the matchups are bad. But 11 of 12 games were decided by double digits. That's incredible. That doesn't make sense to me. But that was the NFL update for this week. Kind of gave my opinion. Just kind of said what's going around. So,